Welcome to another episode of the Stitch Diaries. Now, I've been trying to get this video out to you for ages, and now I've got a mammoth of makes I need to show you, so I'm hoping that I don't forget anything. Now, I wanted to wear something handmade, well, that's something I've sewn myself or knitted or something in this video, but unfortunately it's really warm in here. It is a Wednesday evening. It is 8:02. My husband is at tennis, and my eldest son is at his girlfriend's, and my younger two boys are on the computer. So so hopefully they're going to be fairly quiet. But I was going to wear something handmade, and first I had on this. I'll show you what I did have on. I had this jumper, the Linden sweatshirt that I made in a glitter fabric. The pattern's called the Linden, and yeah, I had that on, but it's really fluffy inside, so yeah, I got too warm in that. Then I put on my Astoria top. This is in a French terry fabric. This is a pattern by Seamwork. I absolutely love this. I know it is, I do get rather warm in it because it's French terry and rather fitted. Excuse me, I've got fluff, and I was too warm in that. So I've ended up in a Barbie t-shirt and some Barbie pyjama shorts. So yeah, and I've ended up messing my hair up. I've done my hair kind of nice and neat in a braid, and it's all like coming out now because I've had to get changed that many times. But anyway, let's crack on with the video, and I'll tell you something exciting about what I'll be doing in the month of December. And I know some of you will guess, because I know I've had some of you follow me for quite some time, quite a few years, so you'll know what I do in December, what I've done the last few years. So anyway, so let's crack on with some of the things I made. Now, you saw that I'd made my lovely fabric doll, like a vintage one, didn't I? She's down here. I'm sorry. Oh, the light's gone off. Let me try and fix it. We're back. Sorry about that. This light is really temperamental, so it could go off with the slightest of movements. I've got a backup one here, but it's a rechargeable battery, so that could go. So we'll end up with no lighting. But yeah, this is a fabric doll that I made, and yeah, I think that's where I was with my last Stitch Diary video, what I'd made. So I've tried to put a collection of photographs together on my iPad for me to look at, to refer to, and hopefully I've included everything I've made and things I'm getting up to and things. So I made a dress for BlytheCon, which if you watch my doll diary videos you've probably seen already, and basically it was a dress that I designed myself, but I did start with a bodice. Now, I took a bodice from a dress from Seamwork called the Leanne, and it's quite a small bodice, it is, but that's what I started with. And sorry, every time I do these videos I have a little fluff on my face. Oh, right, okay. It's because I start getting all these things out ready, and it's dust, isn't it? So anyway, basically took that bodice. I sized it up a few times to be rather generous, because the doll that I was trying, basically copying a doll dress. Actually, I've got her here. I was copying this dress, and I noticed on her that it is quite roomy. It's not skin tight, so I was trying to replicate this, and yeah, and so I started off with that bodice. I made a circle skirt. Now, how I did that, I've got my workings out. How I worked it out here. Basically, it's a circle skirt, so you need a pattern piece which is going to be a quarter. So it's shaped like a quarter circle, like that. Then, so what you need is the radius. Now, if you don't know what the radius is, it's basically, and I've got a really shoddy drawing here. It's a circle. Now, make a point in the middle of the circle and draw a line. That's your radius. So it's basically diameter is across the circle, it's half the diameter basically, so you need that measurement. But you can't measure your body, can you? Well, I wasn't basing it off my measurement of what I measured. I was basing it off the measurement of when the bodice that I'd used, when all those pieces are sewn together, I took the measurement from the back opening all the way to the back opening. That was my starting measurement. So that was obviously the circumference. So you do this basically sum. So it's this circumference divided by 2 pi, which is basically my bodice measurement divided by 6.28, because basically pi is about 3.14 approximately, so you times that by 2, that's that, so you're dividing that, and that's how, I'm sorry that's not a really good description. There's plenty of maths videos on YouTube and things if you want to work out, you know, the radius of a circle. And, you know, there's lots on YouTube, and that's basically how I did it. I took the radius of the bodice, and that's how I got my measurement. So then on my half circle, I just measured the radius down that side and down that side, and then took a measurement and kind of did a you know, a shaped bit like that, the radius shape all the way, measured the radius basically all the way from that point, and that gave me my, you know, my waist. And then regarding the length of it, because the fabric was folded twice, so it's in a square, I basically wanted the full length possible, so I just cut it as long as I could and did a really small hem to give it as much length as possible, because it wasn't very wide, my fabric, so it did end up rather short, the dress. Anyway, with the sleeves, I took a sleeve from another pattern, and I'm sorry, for the life of me I can't remember what it is, and then I just chose any sleeve that looked rather wide, and I made a channel at where I wanted to give it like a, because it needed to puff out at the bottom like that, like a ruffle. And oh sorry, she's flashing at you and she hasn't got any knickers on. No, I haven't got them on her at the moment. And so I did that, and then I took the head of the sleeve off. I took off 4 inches off the head of the sleeve, and I ended up making a channel with an opening either side of it. I made a channel at the back of the bodice because it was a bit big, I wanted to cinch it in, and I put elastic around here, elastic around here, and elastic on the back, no elastic at the front. I made some straps, and then I tried to recreate this ruffle, and basically this is like ribbon, but I couldn't get ribbon that looked right, so I just used the fabric that I'd made the dress in, and I made a 4 metre tube of fabric basically, and turned it, you know, the right side out, so sewed it inside out, turned it the right side out, and I pleated it, and I put that fabric all the way around from the back of the bodice all the way around here, and over the straps as well, and that's how I got my dress. And then everything else, I bought the red socks, I bought white trainers and red laces, so I just swapped the laces out. I ended up buying a jacket. I wasn't planning on the jacket, but I ended up buying one because I found one that was perfect, which didn't really end up wearing much at all because I was too warm again. And and she has a hat as well, like you know, like an open top hat, a white one with a little red heart on it with red bows at the back, and it has fighting milk on her hat. And I basically appliqued a heart and did some free motion embroidery and added ribbon and things. So I'll pop some photographs up on the screen, like ones with us together with our hats. Unfortunately, I haven't got a photograph of me wearing the jacket. There's photographs of me kind of like holding my jacket and things, but not one with me in it yet. I've been meaning to take one, but just haven't gotten around to it. So yeah, so basically in a nutshell, that's how I made the dress, which I'm really, really happy about. I'll just pop my doll there. Now, something really exciting about this doll, if you've probably seen her before, if you watch my doll diary videos, because basically I am Claire, I run 2 series of videos on YouTube, one called the Stitch Diaries and one called the Doll Diaries. Now, I know some of you watch both sets of videos, but some of you might only watch the Stitch Diaries, so you might not have met this doll before, but I've got 2 of her now, so I've got twins. She only arrived yesterday, so yes, basically my friend couldn't bond with her, so yes, she came my way. So I'm very, very pleased. So actually I'll pop a photograph on the screen. I've took a photograph of them together. Yeah, I'm so delighted. Actually, where's her bow? A bow come off. Now, I wanted to make this bow. Yeah, I'll put make this bow to wear, but I didn't end up getting round to getting any hair or anything, because I've had to get some fake hair and then figure out how to make it, and it was actually quicker just to order the little brimmed hat and decorate that in the end. So maybe I'll do that in the future, who knows. So I'll put this doll here as well, actually. So yeah, so I've got some photographs of that dress in the making that I'll put up on the screen if I haven't done already anyway. So the next photograph along, I'm showing a knitted jumper. Now, when I last did a Stitch Diary video, you were seeing I was knitting number 13 of Arnie and Carlos's mini Nordic jumpers. It's basically an advent calendar, and you can do a closed cast on at the bottom, so you can fill them with treats and hang them up and use them at Christmas. But because I'm a doll person, I left them all open at the bottom, and they will fit. You can use them on the wooden men. This isn't one of them, by the way, but you can use them on these wooden drawing men, and they will fit Arnie and Carlos's knitted dolls. I'm sorry again. You're going to see them again. So these are Arnie and Carlos's pattern for their knitted dolls, and these are a couple of dolls that I made. I've spoke about them before. This is the one I knitted from the doll book. And this is the one I think I knitted from their garden book, and it came out a bit smaller, unless I used a different needle size or something, I don't know. But I made that years ago. I think I made that in 2017. Maybe I made this girl last year, the year before, I'm not quite sure. But yeah, so I was quite surprised actually when one came out bigger, and it makes a lot of sense because the socks that I knitted for this doll, I've ended up putting on this one, because these shoes I knitted for the other doll, they never really fit her. But this doll, I'll pop them on actually, they fit a lot better. They do. So I absolutely love the designers Arnie and Carlos. As I've mentioned them many times before in my videos, I absolutely love them. I have met them, but it wasn't a planned meeting. It was just, I found out there was something I was at, but the only footage I actually seen of them at that point was just when they'd been on I'd watched them on Norwegian things. They might have been on Kirsty Allsop's Christmas thing, but the reason I knew them is because I've got all their books to date, and I'd knitted many things from their books, so I love them for that. I didn't really know them, but I've watched them speaking in English and things a lot now, so I feel like I kind of know them very well now. So but yeah, it's really exciting. So anyway, so you saw that I was knitting number 13 of the mini Noddy sweater, and I posted a photo on social media of it finished. So I'm sorry if you don't follow me on social media, you wouldn't have seen it, but yeah, I did end up finishing it. But obviously I was trying to get them done for this Advent, so I have been continuing with this project. So I'll show you what I've managed to do. So these are the ones you've seen already. I'm going to quickly show you. 1, 2, 3, they've got messed up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And so you've seen all these on video before, but you've not seen this one finish before, number 13. Now, I'd finished that in like the autumn time. We're still classed as autumn, aren't we? And I took that photograph of some autumn looking things. So this is it in the person. But I have carried on to make some more. So I'll just pop those there. Hopefully the light doesn't go off. So I've gone on and I've made 14, 15, 16. So this is what I've been doing while I've not been doing any Stitch Diary videos. Knitting like a crazy lady. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. I'm going to wait there. Now, sort of 22. I haven't steam blocked this one yet. Still got a stitch marker on, look. And I've still got some ends to thread in. I've not got much to do on it. But yeah, I've nearly finished that one. And I've actually made a good bit of progress on number 23. So I've knitted the body basically up until the armpit. And I've started a sleeve. So basically what you do with these, I've mentioned it before, you knit the body up to the armpit, you knit the sleeve up to the same part either side, then you join it in the round, and then you knit up and up, decreasing, and then up until the collar basically. You knit it basically, this is how you knit it. On double pointed needles, you're knitting it in the round like this. So I know this is not a typically, well, it's not an English way to knit. I got into it because I was knitting from Norwegian books. This is how I ended up getting into this really. And yeah, you know, so I do flat knitting as well, especially with cardigans. You're not knitting in the round. Probably sometimes with cardigans I might knit the sleeves in the round, but then I'll knit on flat needles because you've got to go back and forth and things. But generally for lots of things, or sometimes I'll adapt patterns that aren't knit in the round to knit in the round because I like knitting this way, because yeah, I'm rather used to it. So yeah, I've done rather well. Now we are, what did I say what the date is? Alexa, what is the date?
It's Wednesday the 29th of November.
Wednesday the 29th of November. So it's basically the 1st of December on Friday. So you might think to yourself, well, I've got, you know, the rest of this month until Friday to, you know, knit this one, and then number 24. So you think, oh, that you'll do that easy. And I thought that, well, there's a bit of a spanner thrown in the works. Now, do you remember on my previous Stitch Diaries, I showed you that I was knitting a stocking of Arnie and Carlos. They released a new pattern in October, and it's the bullfinch stocking, and you can knit a ball as well. Well, I made a lot of progress on that. It's actually in my wardrobe, so I'm not going to grab that now because I haven't got it to hand. Well, anyway, Arnie and Carlos, they're doing something really exciting in December. They're doing an advent calendar. So basically, you can get the pattern for the toe now. So you're going to need to make this Christmas stocking a ball of this. I didn't have to purchase anything because I'd already got it anyway with other knitting I've been doing. Basically with the mini sweaters, I was thinking I'm going to run out of a lot of these yarns, so I ordered a lot of them again. So yeah, because I panicked a bit, and then I bought more for that stocking. So yeah, I've got more than enough for hopefully. So yeah, I'd already got the yarn that you need for this, and we've already been given the pattern for the toe, so we're all ready to go on the 1st of December. We're going to be basically knitting 6 rounds each day, and I think day 8 and 9 we're going to be knitting the heel. Now the other stocking I've knitting of theirs, it's one of these ones where you'll knit the whole stocking and then you'll have to end up cutting and then adding, it's like an afterthought heel. I think this is like a shaped heel from what I know, but obviously I'm not going to know until I get there. Yeah, and that's like the pattern for the toe, and I've made the toe already, and here it is. So yeah, so this has been a little bit distracting because I've put my Nordic sweaters down to do this, which I've been putting the Nordic sweaters down all year. I started the first one in January, and then obviously I got into blythe dolls. I've been knitting for blythe dolls. Well, anyway, it's my first Christmas with blythe. It's going to be my first Christmas with blythe, and I desperately wanted to knit this Christmas hat. Where is it? I don't want to turn the light on. Oh, here it is. I knitted this hat. I only finished it yesterday. So I must admit, I put the Nordic sweaters down to knit this and this, you know. And this I've done in the Norwegian Rowan yarn as well. Not the pom-pom. In all honesty, I didn't want to waste, because I've got loads of projects to do. I didn't want to waste this. And I didn't want to go like full on acrylic because this is pure wool. This is a Stylecraft Special Life that I already had in, and it's a mixture of acrylic and wool. So yeah, and it's a really nice yarn because I've knitted with it before. And actually this owl I knitted for my son, it actually looks like wool even though it's a mix. So anyway, I've got some photographs of little Miss. I was wearing the hat in the photograph. So anyway, the needles I started knitting this with were shorter. They were 15 centimetres, and I was finding, I thought they might end up falling off when I put this down. So I ended up ordering these 20 centimetre ones, these Knit Pro. Now I must admit, I wanted Arnecarlos's own brand, their Prim needles with their name on. I wanted those, but I couldn't find them anywhere, unfortunately. So, but anyway, so I've got loads and loads of knitting. So every day December, I'm going to be knitting this stocking. Well, hopefully, it means I might have to leave my other stocking. I don't know. And I'm trying to bust a gut to get these Nordic sweaters done as well. So I must admit I should be knitting now, but I've stopped to do this video. I thought I need to do it now. So anyway, the hat, the blythe hat, I used a pattern. I bought it from Etsy, and it was Blythe Dolls ABC. Her name is Gazelle Yana, I think her name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering this lady's name. And her name must be a foreign name. But anyway, she suggested using Aran weight yarn. That's the weight of yarn, if you don't know the thickness of it. I know there is a yarn called Aran yarn, but no, this isn't Aran weight. So if you might be familiar with double knit yarn, DK weight yarn, that's the weight of this. So I used a smaller yarn and I actually used a bigger needle. She wanted to use 2mm thickness needles. This is knitted in the round as well. But I actually used a 3 to cast on and knit the rib. Sorry, I had a brain fog then. Knit the rib, then I went up a needle and I knitted in a 3.5 because that's what I'm knitting these in. And I knew it works really well. Anyway, because I did initially start with a 2mm needle and I thought this isn't going to fit the doll's head. And so I'm really happy with the width. It is rather long, but it's just you had to keep going because if you look at the doll on here, like I know what their heads look like. This is a Lily, by the way. I'll bring her Lily in a minute. But it looks long, doesn't it? I think maybe her head is smaller. But yeah, it makes the head look a lot longer. But I think that's the style of it. But in all honesty, it's more like, it looks more a bit slouchy style, the hat. It does. Well, anyway, something else. Let's have a look at my photographs. My battery's low on here, so it keeps going off. So actually, the next photograph I've got on here It was those boxes that I bought, and then I painted and put some fabric at the bottom. Now they are in my wooden doll video, because I bought them and decorated them to keep my wooden dolls in, which I'll put some photographs on the screen. Now if you've watched my wooden doll video, you've met them before. Now I've yet to make them any clothes, just everything that's been going on with the Blythe con and everything and getting ready for that. I didn't then get a chance to make them any clothes, but that's going to be something up and coming. Whether it's December, I don't know, but if it's not December, it will be when Vlogmas. I've spoiled it. Basically, I might as well tell you, I'm going to be doing Vlogmas. Now, I've done it before. Now, I will admit, my Vlogmases, I often called Stitchmas. They're very chaotic, right? Now, there's often some kind of building work going on, or some drama. And you know what, this year won't disappoint. Now, normally when I do my Stitchmases, it doesn't matter what chaos is going on at home, I've always got my haven of my craft room that I can just get away from it all and sew. But this year I haven't got that. Basically, we are doing a renovation. So my craft room is getting renovated. Basically, an external wall is going to be coming out. At the moment, the new wall is getting built, and eventually I'll get so far with it. We're up to like lintel point of the window now, and then basically the inside's going to be knocked out, the ceiling's going to be coming down, the floor's going to come up, a fireplace is coming out. It's going to be some major work. So at the moment I am still sewing in there, but most of my things are in storage. So often if I want things like fabric, I have to go and buy it. I haven't got the access to my usual. I've tried to leave a few things out for me to use. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really setting myself up for a big fail maybe doing this year, but you'll just have to bear with me. So I'll open my calendars and things, and we'll just see what's happening. I'll just share the chaos basically. So that's what's going to be happening. So why was we're getting on to this? I don't know. So anyway, there was a reason why I mentioned it. Yeah, mate, that's why I was saying, maybe when all the chaos of Vlogmas is over, I'll have more time and I can stitch something for these little dolls. I probably could have done it during Vlogmas, but now I've got this. And mate, like, it might be that I get to a point I can't keep up with this, and maybe I'll put it down and do other things, I don't know. So yeah, it might be a mixture of stitching and knitting. I am normally knitting like a crazy lady during my Stitchmases. You know, I'm busting a gut getting chocolate orange covers done for my family, or I was crocheting sprouts, a sprout family for my family one year. Another year I was knitting mince pies for everybody, and the giant mince pie. Do you know what I'm saying? There's always something crazy going on with the knitting. Now this year it's trying to get the final sweaters done, if I haven't got that number 22 done before then. And now I'm going to be doing these stockings and things. So yeah, I can't say exactly what's going to happen, but I will be here every day, all well and good, and opening calendars and things. So that's another thing, calendars I'm going to be opening. I've got a number of calendars to open. I've got 2 Harry Potter, 2 Barbie, like one is more like a colour, I think it's a colour reveal, one's a more grown up Barbie, and what else have I got to open? And I've got my homemade one. So sometimes I'll spend all year filling up a homemade calendar with all sewing bits and bobs. Well, this is kind of going to be a bit rogue. I'm going to be filling it up as I go along. So if I'm going to be out shopping over Christmas, if I see something I like that's small, that's good for a calendar, that's either Christmas or something that's sewing or knitting, even things for my Blythe dolls, I might put in this my homemade calendar. It's going to have a mixture of things. So even if it's like for the Blythe dolls, it's still for me because they're my dolls, aren't they? So anyway, I've got Lily here. Now, I have shown Lily in this outfit on one of my videos, but I think it was on a doll diary video, not a stitch diary. If you have seen her on a stitch diary before in this outfit, I'm really sorry. But yeah, I made this little outfit. Now, these were patterns that I got that aren't for sale. They were what I received through Hilary of Moshi Moshi's Patreon, and she gifted us patterns, and this is one. It was a blouse pattern with a collar initially. I have made it in the proper way, but I did a gathered lace collar, so it looks a bit different to Hilary's, but it is the pattern. I've used the pattern pieces. So and these were like her boys trousers, and I made a little headband. So yes, that was something else I made. So and I'll show you the other dolls I made their clothes, which again I've shown in a doll diary. So I'm sorry if you watch those videos as well, you're seeing, you know, these things again. So I'll just pop Lily there actually. So actually twist her around a little bit. Now, I don't know if you saw, did you see Tilly in my stitch diaries at all? I'm not entirely sure if you did or not, but this is another Patreon pattern I was gifted from Philippa. Philippa, you like, don't follow Philippa because you think, oh gosh, you're going to get sewing. Philippa carves Blythe doll faces, that's her thing, but she does make these frogs to put with her dolls that she sells, so I believe anyway. But she gifted her Patreons the pattern, so she does more like journaling and doll customization, like carving faces and that kind of thing. But yeah, but I got the pattern, so I made this little Tilly frog, and this fabric isn't green, I've painted it. And yeah, I painted the eyes, and they've got little beads on, and I've done embroidery, and yeah, she's quite involved. You see the bit of red round here, and I made a little dress. Yeah, so but she's basically for the dolls, because basically Lily took a liking to my knitted frog, Freya the frog, and I wanted Freya back. Sorry, Lily, but she's got her Tilly frog now. So yeah, we can both have our frogs and nobody's upset. So, oh yeah, I love little Freya. I always intended on making her a little friend, maybe a little boyfriend, and maybe a nice girly looking sweater. But yeah, she's lovely, isn't she? Oh, I love her. So, oh gosh, she's fallen over. I did put wire in her, but then it was I think it was a bit thick. I was using Toft brand of wire, and it was poking out. Yeah, I wasn't entirely happy. Well, anyway, I've got some really, really good news for me, this is. And I have got something called a Big Shot machine, and it's a die cutting machine. I know I've had my first one for years and years and years. It's a black and pink one. Honestly, I've had it a long, over 10 years. I don't know how long, but I've had it a long time. And then later on I bought a larger one as well. Anyway, when I first had it, it was for like cutting out fabric, but what I really wanted a ribbon bobbin die. Now, the thing I found when I started with Sizzix and die cutting, they kind of have like dies that they only out for a certain amount of time, and then they bring out new ones and they discontinue and they bring new, and I've never ever been able to find a ribbon bobbin. So anyway, I found one eventually. Every now and then, every so many years, I go looking for one. Anyway, I found one in America, and I thought, yes, and I'll show you these photographs that I found. Anyway, I ordered it, and a month went, nothing. 6 weeks went, nothing. I contacted them saying, have you got my tracking? And basically, I'd ordered it, and then it stopped getting tracked on like the 30th of September in LA, and it's gone from across America this way, and then kind of stay so further away from me, from this part of America over to this way, and then obviously it's got to fly or however it's going to get to me. Anyway, it took 2 months, but it did arrive in the end. it's here and I'm so happy. I don't think you realise what this means to me, but I haven't cut any out. But I was getting that desperate while I was waiting for this. I found a one you could print on on Etsy. You print it out yourself and you have to cut it by hand. However, I've had a Cricut machine for 9 years, and I have learnt now how to turn just pictures into cutting files. It's a bit of messing around. I have to go in a program and sending things here and there and whatever. It's been, you know, a long explanation trying to tell you this, but I can do this. So basically I have turned these shapes. I'll try and get a photograph. I haven't got the photograph here, but I'm on the screen. I can print these out and then get my machine to cut them out. I've made the cutting file, but I haven't actually done it yet. So when I've done that, I'll show you, and I'll show you what these are like. And they're really good for wrapping your bias binding round and your ribbon and things. So yeah, so this is a slightly simpler way, but the other way, you know, so yeah, I'll let you know how I get on with that. So what else have I got a photo of? So if you've been watching my doll diary videos, you'll see that I had a mystery happy doll. And basically I bought a sewing book from Japan and I made her this lovely little gingham outfit, and with a little bow and everything. And I made her a t-shirt. And her name was called Bee Mary, the grey-haired one. And what it is, because there was a bit of confusion when I was ordering her, I ended up ordering one from somewhere else. That it wasn't a surprise where I ordered from. I've explained this in my video, but I ended up getting 2 of them. So the other one is like a light blonde. So I've now put, I don't know if I've photographed her, but I've now put that gingham outfit onto the blonde doll. And then around Halloween I made Bee Mary a black dress, which it isn't from that book, is it? Basically I think the bodice is from that book, but I went a bit freestyle with the bottom because there wasn't something suitable. And when I showed it in my video, I got it pinned at the back in one of my videos, but I've actually put a buttonhole and button on now, so that's all enclosed. And I made Wednesday Addams a dress. I made a Wednesday Addams doll, a custom blythe doll, and I made her a dress in the same fabric. And I did that during a sewing bee with Moshi Moshi, and yeah, it came out really well. What it is, we were supposed to cut out black cuffs and I got it wrong and I cut out white, but then when I put the lace in, it looked really good actually, so I'm really pleased. And also she had a pin at the back, but I've since gone on and put a buttonhole and a button as well. So I've done lots of sewing, and I've got a photograph of my other blythe doll. She's called, her official name is File Style, and I don't know why, I don't know if you've seen these makes already, but I made basically that stripy top I initially made for my Wednesday Addams doll that I made. I made that doll. Well, I bought a doll and then customised it basically to look like a modern Wednesday Addams. I initially made that top for her, but then I've put it on that doll, and she's wearing some trousers that I made for her. She's just wearing her own trousers, but yeah, she was a bit of a Halloween picture I shared. Now, if you've seen my doll diaries, you've met this other doll before. This is Clara. She's going to be Clara from the Nutcracker this Christmas apparently, but I haven't made her anything suitable. But I have made her this lovely gingham dress. It was when all but Barbie hysteria, and I made her the pincushion, and I went on and made some coat hangers, wire coat hangers. I've done that before, but these are a bit smaller than what I normally make. And I made these lovely little paper covers. Now that file is actually on the Cricut Access. Someone's put it on there, and that's where I got it from. The Cricut was supposed to draw on it, but I actually cut out some hearts with a punch. and I stuck those on. Now those hearts I stuck on, I made earrings with that same punch for my dress to match my Blythe doll for Blythe Con. So gosh, what's that picture? So I got my machine back. I got my sewing machine back, and it's like new, which is lovely. So the machine I've been sewing on, the one like I like for travel purposes, I've put back in the travel bag, and yeah, I'm using that one. And oh, I found out now, if you're into your fashion, a fashion designer, Alexander McQueen, is deceased now, sadly. But while he was alive, he actually designed a number of garments for the Blythe dolls. So I've got this picture of a studio kind of shot, and then I've got these 4 individual pictures of the Alexander McQueen. So if you're into your fashion and designer and things, and Blythe dolls, you might find that rather interesting. Now I'll share a photograph of this book. Now I've had this book a long time, and I bought it when I was getting back into Barbie, and I was making clothes for Barbie, and I bought this thinking, will be things suitable for Barbie? No, they weren't. They said they were for like Blythe. That's how I kind of got interested in Blythe. I looked at Blythe, but I was looking at vintage, authentic, and they were like thousands of pounds. I thought I could never have a Blythe. I didn't realise I could have Blythe at the time. I didn't know there was, you know, non-authentic and things at this time. But yeah, but basically I haven't made anything from that book, but there are patterns for like taller dolls as well. So I've actually ordered a doll, a very the body looks very poor actually. You think, why did you buy it? It's only £10. It's from overseas. I've had a notification to say it's been shipped today, and I might make something out of that book. She's going to be, I think, a 1/3 scale. And yeah, I've not had a doll that size, but because I'm hopefully in the future going to be a doll vendor, then this might be something I need to look at, you know, this size doll, because the 1/3 scale dolls are really very popular as well. So Barbie's popular, Blythe have the same size bodies like Leica dolls that are very popular, and yeah, and these ball jointed dolls, they're all like not all, but like 1/3 scale, they're very popular. So I need to kind of look at all avenues, and obviously you've got your 18-inch dolls that are very good for, you know, what children usually play with, don't they? Not saying adults don't have them as well, obviously I've got some. So yeah, I've really fallen in love with another doll from that book called a Be My Baby Cherry doll, and apparently her body is the same size as Blythe, but she's got more in proportion head. But yeah, I don't know how easy it is to get one of those. I don't think they're very easy at all, but yeah, I'm looking into that. Well, I've been looking into it a lot. And yeah, and it's not the easiest thing to get, but I would love one. So anyway, I've been playing with my Cricut machine quite a lot lately because of my newfound skill making regular pictures, a print to cut file. And yeah, so I took a file I was gifted on Patreon, and I turned it into a print and cut file, and I cut out this thing for Halloween. Then I had a mystery box from Toft, and it really, was it so mystery? There was a picture on the front. I didn't know that's what it was going to be. And yeah, and this is what it was. It was a sporing toadstool. And yeah, and I made it. And here it is. It's lovely. And I pictured one of my she's the latest release Blythe to come out, and she's called Dear Forest Dear. So I photographed her with, I've had another doll since, but she's like, you know, the latest release. She's called Dear Forest Dear. I photographed her with my toadstool and Freya the frog, but actually I've been sitting Freya on top of the toadstool on my shelf next to my Blythe dolls, and she was actually balanced okay when she was on the shelf, and she stayed there the whole time. Look, if I get the balance right, And yeah, she looks lovely. I should I should photograph her on there. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's come out. So this is crocheted, as I say, and it's a Toft pattern. Now Toft patterns, unless someone sells these, you can get these, people are selling on eBay and things, but if you go to Toft, you have to buy it with the yarn. And here's my yarn actually. This is what I got left. Maybe I could get a second one out of it. It's a level 2, it says. It doesn't say. I wouldn't want to risk it, in all honesty. Excuse me, I had a big yawn then. I've been awake since 6 a.m. this morning, you know, getting up and taking my boys to college and things. I've been to IKEA today. Yeah, I've had a full-on day and it's quite late now, isn't it? So anyway, so yeah, I've got a few works in progress photos if you haven't seen them already. Oh, I've managed to get these Cricut cuties. Now I love these because they're something money cannot buy. Well, unless someone's selling them on eBay, basically. You just get them when you have like bundles and things off Cricut. And I was desperate for a green one because my Cricut is the First Explore. It's got green on it. So I wanted a green one. That's the traditional Cricut, you know, character. And I cut out vinyl and I stuck it on my machine to match mine. And I've got basically a red one now because I had a Christmas bundle of things from Cricut. And anyway, I've got some photographs of the front of my house where the new craft room wall and the insulation, my husband working out there. And then, but yeah, I'm going to be taking you a bit more on that journey during my Vlogmas on what's been happening. My middle son had his 19th birthday. We saw the Grinch in my local town. The Grinch popped in while we was eating Japanese food, which was rather funny. And what else? Oh yeah, more Barbie fun actually. I've had a Mariah Carey Barbie and a volleyball Barbie. So anyway, oh gosh, I've got some patterns I want to show you. Right, bear with me. Right, downstairs I have got a pattern called the Davenport dress. And I'm going to make that, probably that will be my next dress that I make for myself. I know it's not very seasonal, but I'm not too bothered because in the summer I get less sewing done a lot of the time. It's too hot to sew whatever. You know, I get more sewing done over the winter and things. So yeah, if I want to make a summer dress, I'll make a summer dress. But I'm probably going to make that next with fabric I had from a Sew Hayley Jane box when I was in a subscription club. But I've since got another couple of patterns because I won a competition for, it was I got the prize from Bornella Fabrics basically, but I didn't buy, I got basically a £25 voucher, but I didn't buy fabric. I ended up getting patterns and I added a little bit more to get them. So, but as I say, I'm probably going to make the Davenport dress next with fabric I've already got. And then I'll have some really nice fabric left over for the dolls. But I've got another couple of patterns. And it's all wrapped up in this. And I've got a lovely card saying thank you for supporting my small business. Your order means the world to me. Oh, I'm still in Seamwork, by the way. I'm still a Seamwork member, so I get patterns every month from them. But basically, I got the Tilly and the Buttons Erin. I really think this girl looks like an actress. I'm sure this actress is probably similar age to me now. This was years ago. I can't remember. I've never known her name. but she really looks like an actress I've seen. I don't know if you sort of see an actress in her, but yeah, I don't know what the actress's name or what she's been in or anything. And it's not her, I presume, but yeah, she does look like her. But yeah, this is a really lovely dungaree. It's got 3 different leg lengths. So you've got full length to the ankles, a cropped and the shorts. Actually, there's a line drawing on the back. And you can have different kind of straps. So you can have 2 ties, so you tie them here, or you can have ones where I think you make a buttonhole, you pull your strap through and then tie a knot, which is really nice. But what's really great as a dressmaker, sometimes when you make garments and say you're a bit new to it, everybody's like widest bust point is a different point on the shoulder. So if you make a garment as is, you know, pattern, it might not fit right. Your slope of your shoulders might be different to the pattern. Your bust apex point might be different to the pattern. So even if you make your own clothes, they can be bad fitting without adjusting them. Do you know what I'm saying? So something with straps, especially something that you can tie. So if you think, oh no, that doesn't look right, you can hoist it up a little bit. Obviously, you have to bear in mind you're wearing dungarees, so you've got to think about the crotch, because obviously everybody, you can measure yourself with a tape measure down through the middle of your bust, right under your crotch, right round the back. Right, so you drop the tape measure down the back, grab it between your legs and measure yourself. Like I have to do that when I'm making things for ice skating. You get that measure. Everyone's going to be different, so different people got different lengths and things. So probably one of the best things for beginners to make are basically dungaree dresses, because you've got no crotch to worry about. And then even like dungarees, those are probably the easiest things for people to make, because the final fitting, because you're going to have more success with the fit at the end of it. Do you know what I'm saying? With other things, you've got a lot to think about your slope of your shoulders. You know, some people have a wide, you know, they're wider here. You know, people are very mixed, aren't they, in their shapes? So these are good. I would recommend this kind of thing for beginners. So, and tilling the buttons, they have a really good booklet inside telling you the different steps and things. So yeah, I highly recommend them. Anyway, so if you knew, because not everybody who watches my channel basically sews. Some people knit that watch, some people crochet that watch. Now doll people watch, they might not do any of those things, but if you're interested in beginning dressmaking, tilling the buttons, it's a good place to start. Now, closet core. What have I made closet core? I can't think what I've made closet core, and I can't remember, so I can't really tell you what my experience is. I can't remember if or what I've made, because I've made so many garments now. I just can't remember, but because I've made quite a few tilling the button things, it's easy for me to remember. Anyway, this is the other one, the mile end sweater, and yeah, it's quite quirky, as it's got like this bit, one of these, you can pull it in a bit here, look, it's got like a bit of a tie. And this one, I really like, it's got like a V-neck, because if I go to the gym, like I was saying about my hair getting messed up, taking things on and off, it's because if I get warm at the gym and then I want to take it off, it's got a wider neck, so it's not such a rigmarole, is it, messing my hair up and things. So yeah, so those are a couple of future things. Like often now, I don't really like showing you patterns unless I've made them. I find it, oh, you know, it's going to be a bit disappointing. Think, gosh, you know, I'll get this pattern and 2 years later I make it. But hopefully it's not going to take me 2 years to make these things, you know. So anyway, I think I'm going to leave this video there. I really hope that I haven't left anything out that I've made since my last Stitch Diaries. I hope you've seen something of interest. You know, there's other things. Oh, yeah, I did buy. I've bought knitting books. I bought a Disney Night Before Christmas knitting book and the yarn. I didn't end up getting anything done for Halloween because I couldn't get the yarn, and then by the time I got the yarn it was too late. Now with all this arnecarlos knitting I'm going to be doing, I don't think I'm going to get any Nightwear Before Christmas knitting done, but who knows, we don't know, do we? But there's always next year. We've got next year to do any things that we didn't end up getting done this year. And obviously there's projects I've started, you know, like sewing. I've got like Mandy Shaw quilt and things, my all those embroideries I've done to make a you know, a Christmas carol quilt and everything's in storage. So yeah, they're future things, but yeah, we've got the future, we've got 2024 to look forward to, haven't we? So thank you so much for joining me this episode of the Stitch Diaries, and the next video you're going to see is on the 1st of December. If I get it up that day, hopefully I will. And yeah, I'm going to be opening advent calendars and just sharing generally what I'm getting up to, mainly in my craft and doll universe. But if there's anything a bit more interesting going on, you know, I'm not going to take you to Aldi every day, even though I'm in Aldi most days. But you never know, I might end up in Aldi on day one going, yes, this is where it begins. I'm sure that's happened before. So anyway, thank you so much, and I'll see you on the 1st of December. Bye.